Midnight Ramen is a minimally edited, live recorded podcast that takes place at midnight. Although Michael may not be consuming food, it's time to get your bowls out. It's chow time.
But I'll come back to you. Break stride, sailing me. Free falling, choose my enemy. Free from the things you say. It will all come back someday.
Good evening, gamers and other folks like. I hope y'all are doing well. You are listening to Midnight Ramen with me, Michael. Hope y'all are doing fine. Basically, a glorified version of a diary. Isn't that just what podcasts are really in the end of the day? A lot of them are topic specific ones. Aren't they just diaries? More or less just diaries with people. But yeah, this one's mine. Fuck you. There's too many podcasts out. I'm going to be honest, and I'm part of that problem. I'm going to be full blunt and honest. I'm part of that problem. But the thing is, you can go to twitch.tv/meltedlurkoriginal or look it up in the search bar, and you can watch this happen live. You can interact in the chat. You can do whatever, and it's all cool. It's all good in the neighborhood. And, yeah. You can watch this. You can watch it unedited. You can change how it goes. I don't know what else. You can watch the after show, and yeah, where I play some games and do some other streams as well on there. But if you miss it, that's fine. You have up to 2 weeks, but once it's gone, it's gone. But then you can go to YouTube where you can watch every single episode, and go to Spotify where you can kind of do the same thing, but starting with episode 100. So yeah. What else do we have going on? When I used to do this as a radio show, that's also on there too. All of them up to spring break of 2020. And I think we all know what happened right around the time that spring break happened, or March, or this time that year. Literally now. That's when the shutdowns did. Just so you know. Damn, it's crazy to think that we've gotten that far away from that shit, because even a week afterwards, I feel like, because even at the university, they had their shit down. They knew what they wanted to do. They had stickers and things that they had up, and procedures and ways to do things here and there. But we had that shit on lock, on lock. It was crazy. Yeah, they had that down. They had the 6 feet thing, obviously, and yeah, not much to it. Then we had a bottle, I can't remember, it was stuff from Eco Lab, but it's a purple, the General Clean purple bottle. I remember filling that up a shit ton. I filled that shit up anyways because we had to do that, I think, just because. But now it just gave us more reason that we have to do it more often. So, yeah, during our rounds. But, yeah, again, that was most of the job. I think once COVID started, that was a lot of, just most of it. It was just cleaning and making sure rooms were prim and proper. I feel even now that I'm thinking about it, even after, COVID really was in, I still remember going to Applebee's, probably in it had to have been 2021, with a bunch of the university's church Bible study group. It was Chi Alpha, I want to believe. I think it was it was Chi Alpha. I knew a lot of people from them because they would during post COVID times and, post, quote unquote, they would always meet in the CMU. I think on my days, on Thursdays, sometimes Wednesdays, but they would always have their meeting on Thursdays. And I think usually it was Wednesdays, but they changed it to Thursdays. And yeah, I remember, or was it days that I had off? I can't remember, but I do remember sometimes going out with some of them and going to Applebee's. Specifically, the main reason why is my boy Davis. God damn, my boy Davis, he lives with the Gradients. If you know, you know. And yeah, it's getting a little red. Let me get some of that blue. Which, actually brings up a good topic. That during the after show last week, I talked a lot about playing the French horn. And I think I kind of should tell that stuff because I never really did. And I don't in depth, I've never really done. So, I played the trumpet when I started out. It was my grandpa's trumpet. He got it refurbished and all this other stuff. He got his name engraved on it. When I was getting into 5th grade and wanted to pick out an instrument, I picked a trumpet solely because of that. And I played it for through elementary and middle school. Then we got to high school, and of course, every freaking brass player is pretty much a trumpet. So our band director, who kind of really wanted my trumpet just because of what it was and was really good, he's a trumpet guy, is what I'm saying. He was like, hey, we need more French horn players because we got literally one, maybe one. And so me and 4 other people from my grade all, went out to do and tried and practiced it. And I was doing private lessons at the time anyway. So I started doing that too with my, I changed out my trumpet with my French horn because honestly, I was to be a very good trumpet player, you have to be the best of the best. It's hard to be a decent trumpet player. Even in college, if I were to compare, not to say that they weren't bad, they were bad, even some of the top players there were not comparison to skill. If you're a decent French horn player, you're an expert. You're an expert trumpet player, basically. Not actually, if you say we're to start playing trumpet, I'd be an expert. No. But I feel in terms of what the term, if you're a decent French horn player, you're equivalent in the band as an expert trumpet player, basically. Because if you know what to do, you're good. Because there's a lot of minutiae and things with the French horn, which makes it, I don't want to brag again, it's one of the most, it's the most complicated brass instrument, the main brass instruments, because I can't remember, there's a specific word I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But you can play pretty much any note with any fingering. It's that, the intervals. The intervals are basically that. Not intervals. It's not fingering. I can't remember the exact term for it, but you can flub up a whole scale and still have played it perfectly fine. It's that tough. I mean, it's not hard, but it's tough. But you can also at the same time, if you're not tuning it right, if you're not I feel the French horn, if anything, is the hardest to get right. The hardest, the tuning is hard. Obviously, you have the trombone, which they have positions and stuff like that. They're literally just a big tuning slide. But with French horns, you got to get it perfect with every single one, because then, that helps with your embouchure, your tone, your pitch, all this other stuff. And you get all those pieces together, and you're a good player. You can be a good player. That much better, or you're that better off. But yeah, I think if you're a decent French horn player, you're as more valuable to the band or the orchestra as an expert trumpet player. Not like a master trumpet player, like, whole on like jazz band, like soloist, rock star trumpet player. No. Someone's like, oh, I can handle this. But me, so in high school when I started trying it out, I started practicing with, my private instructor, but it got to a point like a year later during one of the lessons when I was practicing for solo ensemble, which is, I'll explain in a bit. I was practicing my piece and we get done with it. She turns to me and says, I can't teach you anymore. She just like put her hands down. I can't teach you anymore. I've been doing this for years and years and years. I mean, she was close to retiring anyway, but like, this isn't because she wanted to retire. That would have come a couple years later, I think. But she's like, yeah, I literally cannot teach you anymore about the French horn. You know more than I do at this point. Like, I can accompany, but that's pretty much it. And I'm like, okay. So after that, I seeked out a professional private instructor, and there's a lot of stories I can talk about there. So I'm not gonna even say names or whatever, but she was a player in the Minnesota Orchestra for a time, and then she went off and did her own thing, and she mainly just did private lessons, and for like middle for all ages, and for like their high school ones, which I'll get to again for another story, but actually, yeah, I'll tell that one. So I started with her when I was doing my what's it called? My audition. I was practicing for my audition for what's it called? MMEA band, like honor band, which would play at MMEA, which in college I literally just was there and got drunk as hell at. So that's a story. And that happened 5 years ago. Goddamn. But for that audition, what you have to do is 3 things. 1, scales. 2, an etude, which is just a study in, practical, a practical piece. And a third is, just a piece that you want to play. So what I did is for the scales, even for French horn, they're about the same. I don't know exactly. I can't say for sure, but they're the exact same speed as it would be for a flute, for a trumpet, for any other instrument. And I think the only other instrument that had it worse was probably the trombone, because so what it just did there, that's the pace that you were supposed to do those at as a high schooler. And granted, a lot of these, you're trying to weed out a bunch of the kids, but a lot of these kids don't perform at that level. Like, that's like the best of the best. Like prodigies are playing at that, level, to that level. Even like professionals, even like my private instructor's like, yeah, this is literally insane. Like, you're almost never going to be playing at and then you go into another key, so you got to go through like a whole page of keys, but then right after you get done with the last one, you do a chromatic scale. And for French horn, it's fucked because it's like 3 octaves. I'm not kidding. It was 3 octaves. And you're doing... That's basically the speed that you had to go at. Kind of articulate as best you can, but you're not supposed to slur it. yeah, it was, that was a time. So then going on to the etude, when we started practicing the etude, my private instructor that I went with, she's like, yeah, I know this guy. This guy is literally an asshole. He's trying to torture kids with this thing. Like, none of this on the page that you're seeing here, you're ever going to do. Like, almost none of it. Like, there were like 9th jumps, 11th jumps, just like weird key changes, like patterns and rhythms that just don't make sense. Like, it was fucked. Like, it was bad. Really, really bad. And of course, my solo ensemble piece was whatever. Yeah, I don't really know what to explain there. And that was the easiest part, doing the solo piece. And obviously, I feel like for everyone, it probably was. So when I auditioned and like submitted my audition, whatever, get the thing back, I'm an alternative. I didn't make the list, but you know who all did? All of her students did. Like, all of the slots and the alternates, including me, were her private students. Except for maybe like 1 or 2. Yeah. That says something. That says something. And then I remember another time. I don't want to tell that story. That story's kind of fucked. It's kind of messed up and political. I don't want to get political. But another thing that she helped, like, she definitely really elevated my game when it came to French horn playing. Like, taking my, like, like a little bit of private instruction. This is literally my first couple years to, I know what I'm doing. I can go into like a college band as a junior and like be competitive. You know, that's the level I got to, I think. I want to say. And I feel like in college I kind of dipped a little bit after, but you know, a lot of other things happen in college. So, and then another thing that really helped too is, like, every Mondays, I think it was just during the summer and a little bit here and there, whatever. She told me, like, oh yeah, there's this group that meets up in, like, I can't remember, it was like Falcon Heights, and it's called like Twin Cities Horn Club. And it was like a bunch of people, you know, young and old. And even like, I think one of the, you know, the main heads at the time was one of the head chairs of the Minnesota Orchestra. So that's freaking crazy. And so you got all these people with, you know, you got kids that are like, you know, they're in middle school age, like, you know, elementary, middle school age. They've been doing it for maybe a year or 2 or whatever. And then you got people that have been doing it for decades. Like, you wonder how they're even, you know, holding up their instrument, and they've been playing. Like, they're just playing real good. Like, that's the range of people there. And you got like professionals and ones that have like the screw on bell. Man, I wish mine did that, but it's, you know, it's an intermediate one, and for what it is, I like it. I like it a lot. It's not like, and there's obviously like levels to instruments. Same with anything. Like there's obviously like a starter brass instrument, but then there's like an intermediate level, and then there's like professional level like instruments. Like there are, like getting a, what's the best way to describe it? It's like a baseball bat. Like, you can pick up any random baseball bat and you can hit it pretty well, but you get like one of the, like a good wood one that like is meant to like hit the ball far, or like a carbon fiber bat. Oh yeah, you're gonna send them flying. Like a very good one, like a $200, $300, whatever, you're gonna send baseballs soaring. It's like that. Or I'm trying to think what else. Like your shoes for a runner. It's like, yeah, you can wear whatever kind of shoe, but like some of the good ones like help a lot with like keeping yourself going and making sure that your feet don't hurt. Yeah. Or just get shipwrecks. Shipwrecks are good. Man, I need to get me a good pair of like New Balance shipwrecks so I can run again. Or run a lot more. Because I need to do that. I need to get back into fitness. Fit these nuts in your mouth. What the fuck would you say that? What was I on? Okay, yeah, porn stuff. So I should back up a little bit. So it was me, two girls, and one of my friends who like after that year went into military school. So it's just me and the two others. And then I think after that first year, I think even one of them was like, who was my friend, or who is my friend, and she also went to the military, ironically enough. But that was later on. Like actually later on. So it was me. There's like one upperclassman that was like basically soloing and doing himself. He was decent. But even like my OG private instructor's like, yeah, the comparing our pieces, like I was like, I've been doing it for maybe a year compared to like his senior year. It's like, yeah, your piece is harder, like just all around harder, and he's probably been doing it for like a week. Doing his sloppy piece for like a week. Like she heard it or something like that. Or no. It was her daughter doing it because she was the accompanist, and she like basically ratted him out and was like, dude, you gotta put some effort into this. God, that was hilarious. Because I know he didn't get anything. Oh man. And then junior and senior year, we had more people come in. Like after my grade, there were people starting to come up in the program with the French horns. I think the grade below me had one, but then there were like two more after that, and the grade below that. So I think by the time I was a senior, we had like 5 throughout 3 bands, and I played for 2 of them because during my senior year, I was playing in, the top ensemble, but I think I was playing in the lower band, but not like the freshman band, but there are 2 like upperclassmen or like non-freshman bands. So there was like, the regular band, but then like the symphonic band or whatever. I can't remember which is which or what it was called, but I was both in the top and the middle, but the bottom was obviously the freshman. So I was in both of those. And like also going back and forth between the top choir and like the men's choir, because that's perfectly how the classes lined up. That was nice. I was a band and choir kid. God, the thing that sucked is that we didn't have as much time to learn our pieces, but I think it put a lot more. I think it wasn't as bad in band as it was in choir. Because choir, like if we were gone for more than a week, we'd be like, oh, we just got to be caught up. We just got to like have that shit locked. It was bad. And there were a lot of us that were doing it. I remember, let's see, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. I'm not even going to say names. Actually, I can only think of 3. It was me, her, and him. Maybe there might have been another one, but that was in my grade. I think there might have been another. I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe there was. I don't think so. But I think together we spelled ma'am. And truth be told, I had a crush on the girl, but during high school, she was the girlfriend of one of my best best friends that was in choir, so like I can't diss that. And that dude's getting married. I love you. You know what? I'll say his name. Noah. Hell yeah, brother. I see you. And I know I think I might have already talked about this, but like, I know he's getting married soon. Congratulations. Or maybe might have already got married. I don't know. Maybe it's soon. But like, yeah. It's like I could say things, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But like if I were to get married, I think he'd be in the top. He'd be in there. I want him there. Even though we haven't really talked a whole lot, I think during high school, the stuff that we did in high school and even before then, like I want him there. I really do. I really, really do. And if you're seeing this, this is a call, like legitimately. I want you there. Please. We can play Magic the Gathering. I made some more decks. You know what? That's a good turn. Let's use that turn. I made a couple of decks. I worked on a couple of decks. Some of them are kind of shit. But within the past month, I made like 8 decks. Or 7, 8. I can't remember the exact number. I keep messing it up. But some of them I edited, some I didn't. I don't really know. I need to make sure that they're better though, because like recently, like the past time that I played, I got screwed. Be flat out honest. I got screwed. I tried to play good stuff, but literally my draws were ass. I couldn't filter through anything, and I thought, oh, my opening hands will be good. And like I had stuff that was like, oh yeah, I can make this work, but it just wasn't working. Period. Ever. Right here. So yeah, I got 3 packs of Aether Drift, and already we're getting spoilers for Tarkir. Oh my god, that set's gonna be absolutely fucking buck wild. I am so ready for it. 3, 2, 1, flip. And then 3rd pack got to flip open because I like to do it that way. It also tells me if I mess up the pack trick, so. Right here. 3, 2, 1, flip. All right, we'll go with this one. We got Canyon Vaulter, Apocalypse Runner. Oh, that's sick. Greenbelt Guardian. And we got Night Market for basic stuff. Okay, let's go to. We got a Pilot Token. We got a Schwampy. A foil pothole mole. And then we got Zahur Glory's Past. Sure. Then behind that we got a Spike Shell Harrier. Harrier? I don't know. Pack 2, Sabotage Strategist. Ancient Vendetta. Marauding Mako. Interface Ace. That's some common stuff. Okay, we got an art card. What do we got? Ooh. What's this one? Gastro Blockbuster. Nice art. Man, imagine holding a bottle of Hennessy and driving one of these. God damn. Foil run over. Ooh, we got a Coldstoke Gear Hulk. It's a mythic menace and death touch. When this creature enters, put target creature card with mana value 4 or less from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control with a finality counter on it. That creature gains menace, death touch, and haste at the beginning of your next end step. Exile that creature. That just seems stupid. So in case in case that creature doesn't understand that it's going to die, yeah, you're just gonna have to sack it at the end step. Like, the finality counter is enough. Like, it's stupid. Like, actually fucking stupid. Like, I will tear that up. Like, I can and probably might tear that up because, like, even though it's a mythic, that's a shit mythic, dude. Like, why would you? Actually, no, I know where it's going. I can use it though. I can use it. Third pack: Roadside Blowout, Fang Guardian, Boosted Sloop. Start your engine, whatever fucking thing. Bloodfell Caves. Ooh, foil lightning strike. That looks sick. Yeah. Oh, district mascot. Oh, behind that, we got a roadside assistance. All right. But we got the doggy and we got a Gear Hulk. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad Gear Hulk. I'm just being salty. But I know where I can use it. But it's so stupid. Why would you put a finality counter that just means when it dies, it gets exiled? And then say, yeah, you're going to have to sack it at the end step. It's like, that's just stupid. And you're paying 5 for that? Ugh. Dumb as hell. So anyways, back to some, like, horn stories. French horn stories. Where was I? So I was a band choir kid, so I had to learn basically twice as fast to get there. So I was already like at a disadvantage a lot of times, and for band especially, for band I kind of took them as they came. Some pieces I just kind of took the background. A lot of pieces actually, I should be more specific or clarify. I took more of the background part or lower or wherever I needed to be. I was basically utility. Wherever I was needed, I took. So I played, what was it? So like a lot of the time I was playing low because I could, but like I know there were parts where I had to play high because like I was the only one that could. Yep. And I'll hold that above their head that I could still do it. I probably not as long as I can before, but I could probably do it. Pretty sure both the people from that one are that I used to play with in the upper band are not playing anymore. So elbows up. Well, me too, but I need to play. I need to get back on the ball. But so my grade, I think the really only remaining one was another girl, but she was competitive. She's always been competitive at just the most petty shit. And really the horn was a big one because she didn't do any private lessons and she should have. And both me and my dad offered to her and her family, hey, if you want to go to take a practice with my private instructor, we'll pay for it. It's fine. If you want to go to Twin Cities Horn Club and play with some incredible players that literally will help you just being there. They said no. And they thought they were better than me. That's the small town bullshit that I hated. And I still hate. Is that they think they're the big fish in small pond, but they're not willing to go outside the pond to, see what's out there. And it, like, you gotta know. You gotta fuck around and find out. And that's how I got good at playing the horn. Is by going out of my comfort zone, going out of my way and to put time and effort into doing that. And that's how it was going to be for wrestling until I had to make the decision that I can't do wrestling. That's one of my biggest regrets in high school. And I think I've already talked about this, was after my sophomore year of wrestling. I remember the exact day it was, because it was the same. I think it was the same tournament that one of my teammates had their back broken, and the guy that broke his back said, I broke the bitch's back on Twitter, and he was wearing a Fox, with a Foxcatcher shirt on the podium, which is like basically saying that a horrible, horrible person. like shotgun to his kneecaps, because that is, you do not do either of those. That's like committing. That's like I don't know. There's too much to that. But yeah, that was the same day. So that I was proposed that question. So after the wrestling season, the end of the year, got down, did track, but I had to make the decision to focus more on sports, going on sports, or to focus on music. And I know some of my friends and parents of friends that were like, grades ahead of me that went to college were like, yeah, music is the way to go because there's a lot more opportunities and things that you can do there. So that's what, so I'm like, shit, dog. That's probably the best option. So I did that. And I focused more on music, and I practiced more, and I was doing a lot more music and things like that. And it helped. Hell, it even got me back in a church. Like, seriously. And I have to credit my high school choir director for helping that too. He played a big part in that as well. And especially, dude, like I'll give him a lot of credit. He's the reason why. Like, I know my dad is a big part of it too, but realistically, the big reason why I got into the profession that I did, or the things that I did, was because of my high school choir director. Solely because of him. And of course my dad, but like, most of it is because of him. Like, yeah, not to disgrace my dad. No. But legitimately, he did. He did a lot for me. But the thing about, like, because I was both a band and choir kid, I wasn't given a lot of attention from, I was given attention, but I didn't want to give them a whole shit ton of attention because that sucks. I know there are a lot of students, and the other horn player that I was talking about would take up their time. That, they had other things to do, And especially in choir, oh my God, there were nights where I remember seeing him go home at like 11 p.m., coming back in the next day at 7 a.m. Yeah, it was not cool. And he had to drive like 30 minutes, like 20, 30 minutes to get home and to work. Man, I do not envy that shit. And, I don't know how the hours worked for him some of those nights. Some of those, past that time, don't get paid. Sometimes I don't know what's with that. I don't really know. I think with sports, sometimes you don't really do. You don't really. Others you do. I don't want to get into that. I don't really know. With pay. But yeah, especially during like concerts and stuff like that, there were definite days where he would spend, like, he was there, crack of dawn, and he was still there when the clock almost struck, like, pretty much struck midnight. It was nuts. But he wanted to put on a good show. And yeah. Oh yeah, I got some time for college stuff. I'll get into that in a bit. But I think I like the piece that I did for my senior one, and I'll still play it today. I know exactly what it's called. It's Hunter's Moon. You can look it up on YouTube. It's called Hunter's Moon. You can just Hunter's Moon French horn. And I'll probably do it in the after shows. Just play that song because, like, I love it. But it's like a piece that definitely evolves more and more and more. I feel like the more times I play it now, even though, like, I can't necessarily, even like then, even when I like did it, even in my prime, like my prime, even in college at the heights, I couldn't hit some of the notes because they were just fucked. Actually, the low notes, there's like a insanely low note, like dead bottom of page 2. That's just like, which is like almost the lowest end of the horn. Just like, and then the highest note, like it's, I don't even know if that registered. Yeah, it did. But it was like super high end, like the damn near the top of what a French horn can do. And there's like harmonics and things that you can probably go higher than that because it's a brass instrument. Trumpets can do it. Of course, French horns can too. But it's not as fun and not as much as trumpets can. But yeah, what was I on? Oh yeah. It's a fun piece because like it has a lot of technical stuff, but it also has a lot of like how you play it is also dependent on how skilled you are, because you can just play it for what it is, but adding that emotion and grandeur into it is like brings in that piece that brings it above. And even to this day, it's like I think a piece for like orchestra is called Red Balloon. It's simple as hell. It's like absolutely simple as fuck. I mean, Hunter's Moon isn't easy. It sure shit ain't easy. But the thing about Red Balloon is like it's a super easy piece, but you can play it, like it's easy to play but hard to master. And yeah, I think Hunter's Moon is a piece that is hard, not like the most hard piece that you have, but it's hard to play. It's like harder to play, but very hard to master, just to get it right, and especially with the vast range of it is incredible. And I probably can still, like, if I were to pick up my horn now, like, I'm not gonna do it because like it's midnight. I can hit a lot of the notes on that just off the bat. I'd have to tune. I have to make sure I know my pitch. But yeah, I would stop because like I haven't played in a long time, but I can get it done. Man, but in college is fun. My private horn instructor in college, she had a dog named Gustav, which I'm pretty sure at this point is probably dead. That dog was old. That dog was also so cool as hell. I love Gustav. He was like kind of like a poodle, but bigger. But not like a poodle. He had like the curly brown hair. It was like a shepherd dog. I don't remember like an Australian shepherd. I can't remember exactly offhand. It kind of looked like, but he was a good dog. He was a very good dog. He's probably dead now because he was old then, and it's been 5 years, like 4 or 5 years. He's probably dead because I think he was like 13 the last time I saw him. He could move though. He could move. Like, but yeah, sad to think about that. Oh shit! I didn't turn the books in. Whoops. Ooh, no, I have them here. Oh well. Anyhow, yeah, during college, and just to round it back to my gang there, it was just mainly 4 of us during college. I mean, technically it was a 5th, but she mainly was a percussionist, and she was percussioning. And wasn't the best percussionist, but she was definitely one of the better percussion. Well, there are a lot of good percussionists. We had a lot of good percussionists. And the percussion professor was also pretty cool. Weird guy, but also pretty cool. And for a couple classes, he was awesome. Actually, did I really only have him for one? Maybe I may have only have one, but like I've known him. I've seen him. He's cool. I know him around. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. I even like helped with the selection for the had the new band director there, because I was one of the students that he helped, like, because I had to do like a process and whatever, but they also had to do like a private lesson sort of thing, and the guy that did it, he was a horn guy, and I was like, hey, shit, dog, do mine. And so he helped. He helped me with my piece for God damn it, what's it called? Finals. There's a freaking word for it that I'm like forgetting. Juries. Jury. Yeah. He helped me with my jury piece, which is basically a final, but that's what it's called, a jury piece, because it's like the band director, like your instructor, but then also like pretty much all of the heads of the band department were there. Again, they're cool. I just remember. Okay, I some of them are pretty good. Obviously I didn't want to go into like super advanced stuff, but I was in like the 2 out of 4 of levels, and I didn't want to go any higher because like there wasn't a need. Because at that point then I would have to specialize into music, and that's just me getting a minor and playing French horn. Like, yeah, I could have, but like, why? Like, why? Like, even for me, like that, it is a niche thing, because like even for French horn players, like, yeah, I'm not the best, but like there's not a lot of opportunity. Like, just go into the orchestra, okay. All the people that are in the orchestra I've played with, it's like, but are also incredible and have a lot better experience than I do. It's like, even if I did, it would be damn near impossible. What was I on? So, yeah, college was fun. College playing was fun. I even did it for pep band too. Sometimes I had to just play with the horn, just straight up the horn, and there were mellophones, which is just basically the marching band version of a French horn. It's just a trumpet in the key of F, pretty much. But I had to play a horn because we didn't have enough mellophones. For marching in high school, we did, and I remember doing that. I still think about the time that in marching band in high school, we were like actually took it serious for like a summer or a year or whatever. And one of the piece that we played was like a combination of I can't remember, it's like not Uptown Funk. I can't remember what song, and Hips Don't Lie. And the entire time my band director did not watch Hips Don't Lie, the music video for it, and post, after everything is said and done, he's like, oh, I'll watch the music video for this. And he's like, why do we do this song? I mean, it's Shakira. It's also a good song too. Like, he's like, oh. But he was also the guy that never watched a Star Wars movie, and we basically had to force him to do a Star Wars medley. Like, it was my junior year, and we were like, we have a lot of talent leaving this year, and the new Star Wars movie, the episode 7 came out, and they had a medley for it. And we're like, we got to do this, and we got to do this now, because next year we're not going to have as much talent as we will, and this is the perfect time to do it. We basically, like, a bunch of us like said, hey, we got to do this, like, period. And oh my God, it was amazing. It was amazing. I think during the concert wasn't the best time that we played it, but magical. Oh yeah, that was fun. That was a fun one. But I remember during rehearsal one time, and it was like Kylo Ren's theme, or like the part where it did Kylo Ren's theme, and it's like, oh, you got to do the part. Remember the scene where Darth Vader comes out, and we all looked at him as like, he's dead. And he straight up said, I haven't seen a Star Wars. And we're like, what the fuck? We all collectively said, what the fuck? Because this guy, the nerdiest nerd that ever music nerded, had not seen Star Wars. Not a single one. Like, I get it. But, like, he's the kind of guy that you can tell that he's probably seen something. He's probably, like, he would have definitely have seen it. At least one. But crazy, dude. Yeah. And then college playing, it was me, my boy Davis. Yeah, going back to college playing. Me and my boy Davis, and we still talk, from time to time. And he lives with Gradients. So, yeah. Small world. Another guy and a foreign exchange student. That was our main lineup. And yeah, well, Davis was also with me when we got super fucking drunk with a bunch of people that, well, hell, one of them is a girlfriend of one of his girlfriend. Like, she was there. She remembers. That was a fuck night. I can't remember. I've already talked about it. I'm not going to talk about it again right now. But yeah, the MMA band practice, we did it for like that was probably the most we've ever played, because it's decently hard pieces, and we'd always get there and our instruments were freaking cold, and we have to, like, less than 30 minutes get our frozen instruments unthawed and get them warmed up so we can play. And it's harder for us because, the brass instruments are not as easy to, carry onto the bus and whatever, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it was like, even like if we had them in the, like, sat for 30 minutes in the lobby and then went to the practice room, they'd still be cold because, it's like holds the cold in. Surprisingly. We had to just basically air them out and keep them warm. But we'd have long practices, like, 6-hour practices, which we'd have breaks. But we'd have long practice, and then we do and then we go out for the night, and then next day practice. I think we went to practice, and then we had a little break, or we had a break. We practiced for up until 1 or 2. Started at 8 o'clock in the morning, went to noon or 1 o'clock or something like that. And then we broke, and then we did the exhibits and stuff like that. And then I think that night that's when we would have gotten drunk. Yep. Yeah. Oh, those were fun though. And then I think one year, I don't know if it was the first year or the second year, because I could only do it twice because of COVID. Or did I do? No, I didn't do it the first year. So it would have been my junior year. Sophomore and junior year. Because I didn't go the first year. She did, because she was a music major. But yeah. I can't remember which year, if it was I think it might have been my sophomore year. Was that? No. Or it could have been. I don't remember. So we were coming home. It was my junior year, because while we were getting home, and the driver for the bus that we had, the Greyhound, I can't remember what kind of bus that we had to drive there and back. Even we all knew that this guy sucked, and we got him again, and we're that year, and we're like, fuck, we're gonna have a bad situation happen, because I think last year he was going super slow, and it took 10 minutes or whatever to get back into the parking lot. It was really weird. I don't really know. But we had to go to a pep band game, and he took the wrong exit. And so we're going through Breckenridge, and we're like, we got to be there now. And we get there like 15 minutes after the game started, like after the first period. No, not after the first period, like midway through the first. So it would have been like midway. I don't know. Actually, there were 2 games, so what probably was most of the way through that first period. Because they're only, or first half, I should say. Because in college basketball, there's like 2 halves. And yeah, that was so screwed up. That was so messed up. Because like we were already tired from playing, and then we had to play loud because it's pet band, and we had to basically blast the entire time. So our lips were fucked. It was not fun. I think after that I think we all took like a day or like 2 days. I don't think we met on Monday just because we were all dead tired. Maybe we did, though. Man, I gotta get back into playing. But no, this is a good one. And I know that I said that I've already did this in the after show, which is like a reason why. The reason why I wanted to talk about it is because I feel like there's a lot of things that I could talk about that. And hell, I haven't even scratched the surface. I didn't even talk about solo ensemble. Even in high school. So solo ensemble is just basically like juries in college. You get judged and graded and stuff like that. That's kind of the same thing. But like you get actually scored. So if you do like very, very well, you can get a superior, or there's like a number scale. It's like 40 is the max, and I think 35 is where it starts to go down, and then increments of kind of 5, 10 in between there. So I think it's 36 and up is a superior, or it could be 35. I can't remember. And then 35 to 30 is an excellent, and then 20, and then 29 to 25 is I can't remember. Shoot. I can't. Yeah, I honestly don't remember. But I almost got best of sight, which is basically getting the best score out of that site. Like because they do like the judge goes through a bunch of players the whole day, and it's not just like, oh, here's a singer, here's a brass player, here's a wind instrument, here's a pianist, whatever. They don't do that. They do like specific ones. So like my room was all brass instruments. So out of my room, and there were a lot of other rooms because yes, yes, it just happened that way. And in my room, and they'd be doing like one every 15, 20 minutes. Keep in mind. And this is like a whole day. You may have gotten like an hour for lunch, but this is a whole fucking day. Sun up to sundown. That's how long they would go. And judge. It was a literal coin toss between me and another guy to get best of sight. I lost that, but I think I got a 40 out of 40. And that was like the greatest. And of course, I was with Hunter's Moon, I mentioned earlier. And that's again why I love the piece so much, is because of that. And I played it at my final concert in high school. I still remember that. I played a lot during that one. I was dead by the end there. I still remember, like, I played a lot during that one. And I've already said that, but like, I think my band director had to purposely stagger it where like the lower band like was separated from the upper band by like, top players of that year. And I was one of them. So it's like, I think the last concert, it started with the lower upper band, and then it was me, and then someone else, and then the freshman band, and then there was like a couple other players, and then the wind ensemble. That's what it was. That's what the top one was. I think it was symphonic band and wind ensemble. And like the last song, I could definitely feel like I could not hit anything past a D or an E. I was like dead tired. And G was usually my range, like above the staff G, which is like, that's on the upper range of a French horn, what a French horn player can play. But yeah, I was like, I couldn't hit an F to save my life. I was that tired. Speaking of being tired, I should wrap it up. So, if you want to watch, you can go to twitch.tv/Multileague Original, or you can interact in the chat, watch this happen live, watch the after show, where this idea came from, originally from last week. I just thought, like, hey, fuck it. You know, why not? And, yeah. It's up for 2 weeks, but once it's gone, it's gone. You can go to YouTube where you can watch every single episode from the beginning. There's a lot of episodes. Yeah, there's a lot of episodes, but there's also stuff on Spotify from episode 100. So there's already like 25, I think, maybe 26. I don't want to check the number, but I could check it. Pretty damn easy. I did this whole episode in a black t-shirt and a magic blankie that my girlfriend got me. I'm a grown adult, man. I'm doing a podcast by myself. I'm just talking to a wall. I'm aware of what I am. You can go to Spotify and also listen to my radio version of this, where I used to do this as a radio show and just do a 5-year retrospective on each episode as they came out. Next one isn't coming till like September, so yeah. So you have some time to catch up. Don't worry. But I should start working on those just to get ahead of the game, so I'm not like panicking, and I'll probably review it and like actually do the, like, hey, here's what happened in that episode later. More appropriate to the time, but yeah, I need to start working on that and actually making sure that all the episodes are there, because if they're not, oh God. God have mercy on my soul. Excuse me. But yeah. Thank you to Greens for the use of a song used to it off of the album The Call. Again, I already said shout out my boy Davis. He's not really in the band, but you know, he loves them. And to Jackie's girlfriend as well, because she also had a birthday this week. I forgot about that. I forgot to say happy birthday to her. My bad. Happy belated birthday. My God, I'm stupid. I'm dumb. I forgot to say happy birthday. But yeah, her birthday was today it was on Tuesday. I think. Maybe it was Monday. I think it was Tuesday. But I forgot to say happy birthday. But yeah. Yeah, she was in the band too. God, I after show. After show stuff. Not anything like, but I know something. So that's the reason why you should be in the after show. But yeah. Should end it now. So as I look at the time, it's obviously not midnight here anymore, but it is midnight somewhere else in the mountains. So until it becomes midnight here once again, I will see you later. But until then, bye-bye.
Yeah, well, just when I needed you, I see from a different view. Oh, baby, now don't be scared, but don't get used to it. Yeah, when I told her I can't let go, when I told her I can't say no. Oh, baby, well, I was scared, but now I'm used to it. I was scared, but now I'm used to it.